Byte by Night has been under maintenance for a while now, and honestly, we need to talk. Not just about the maintenance itself, but about the lack of communication, the future of the game, and why so many players are starting to get frustrated. Because at this point, the biggest problem isn't that the game is down, it's that most players have no idea what's actually happening. Before anyone misunderstands this video, this isn't meant to hate on the developers. Byte by Night is still one of my favorite Roblox asymmetrical horror games, and I genuinely want to see it succeed. I've spent countless hours playing it, making guides on it, and creating content around it. But right now, there are a few things that need to be discussed. Because while maintenance itself isn't unusual, the way everything has been handled has left a lot of players confused. So let's talk about what's happening, why people are frustrated, and what Byte by Night needs moving forward. Chapter 1. What's going on? At the time of making this video, Byte by Night is still under maintenance, and honestly, that's not automatically a bad thing. Games go down, updates take time, unexpected issues happen. Developers sometimes need to temporarily close a game to work on important problems. The real issue is that most players don't know what's actually happening behind the scenes. We know the game is unavailable. We know the developers are working on something. But beyond that, most of the community is left guessing. And when players don't have information, they start creating their own explanations. Some of those explanations are reasonable. Some of them are completely ridiculous. And that's where things start getting messy. Chapter 2. Why could the game be down? Now, obviously, none of us know the exact reason unless the developers tell us. So everything here is speculation. Maybe they're adding a massive update. No, probably not that. As they said, the maintenance is not related to the whispers in the gift update, at least not as the only reason. Maybe they're rebuilding major parts of the game. Probably not that either. Well, maybe maps, but I doubt it. Maybe they're completely reworking progression systems. Maybe they're preparing future content. That's possible too. Maybe they're fixing serious bugs. Honestly, that sounds like one of the more realistic possibilities. If you've played Byte by Night for a while, you already know the game wasn't perfect. There were bugs, there were balancing issues, there were strange interactions, and sometimes fixing one problem creates 5 new ones. Maybe there are technical issues happening behind the scenes that players simply don't know about. Maybe there are development challenges that can't be explained in a single Discord message. The truth is, we don't know, and that's exactly the problem. Chapter 2.5. What the community thinks. One thing that's become very clear recently is that players are getting impatient. And honestly, that's completely understandable. I've seen people saying the game is dead. I've seen people saying the developers abandoned it. I've seen people predicting massive updates. And I've seen some absolutely wild theories, including mine where I thought Hoax LMS was the reason, but I didn't know the difference between LMS and escape hour. But all of those reactions come from the same place. People want answers. Right now, most of the community is working with very limited information, and when information is limited, people start filling in the gaps themselves. Some theories are reasonable, some are completely unrealistic, but that's what happens when people don't know what's going on. The longer the silence continues, the more speculation spreads. And eventually, speculation turns into frustration. Chapter 3. What Byte by Night does right. Let's talk about why people care so much in the first place, because Byte by Night does a lot of things right. First, the gameplay itself. Unlike many Roblox horror games, matches aren't decided purely by luck. Movement matters, decision-making matters, positioning matters. Small mistakes can completely change a match. Then, there's the tension. Every chase feels important, every wrong turn feels dangerous, and every successful escape feels rewarding. The killer roster also helps keep the game fresh. Different killers encourage different strategies. Different survivors create different situations, and that variety keeps players coming back. Then there's replayability. No 2 matches feel exactly the same. Different teammates, different killers, different decisions, different outcomes. That's one of the biggest reasons why Byte by Night built such a dedicated player base. Chapter 3.5. Why players care so much now. Here's something I think a lot of people overlook. Players aren't frustrated because they hate Byte by Night. They're frustrated because they care about it. Think about it. If nobody cared about the game, nobody would be asking when it's coming back. Nobody would be checking announcements. Nobody would be discussing maintenance. People only get this invested when they genuinely enjoy a game. And Byte by Night managed to build exactly that kind of community. A community that spent hours learning killers, learning maps, learning survivor strategies, creating videos, making guides, making friends, and creating memorable moments. That's why people are frustrated, not because they want the game to fail, but because they want it to succeed. And when a community cares this much, communication becomes even more important. Chapter 4. What needs to improve? Now for the criticism. My biggest issue isn't the maintenance itself, it's communication. Players don't need spoilers. Players don't need exact release dates. Players don't need every detail. But small updates would go a long way. Something as simple as, "We're still working on it. Progress is going well. We fixed this issue. We're testing this feature." That's often enough to keep a community informed, because right now a lot of players feel like they're waiting in the dark, playing other games from boredom and thinking about Byte by Night. And when that happens, frustration starts replacing excitement. The community shouldn't have to guess what's happening. Even small updates can make a huge difference. And honestly, that's all most players are asking for. Not constant updates, not daily announcements, just enough communication so people know what's going on. Chapter 5. Summary. At the end of the day, I don't think Byte by Night is dying. I don't think the developers have abandoned the game. And I don't think maintenance automatically means something is wrong. I just think the community deserves a little more communication, because people care about this game. They want to play it, they want to support it, and they want to see it succeed. But when players care and communication disappears, frustration is inevitable. Hopefully, when Byte by Night finally returns, it'll be worth the wait. Until then, all we can really do is wait and hope the future of the game is brighter than ever. Stay safe.